I used to think family was the one thing that never betrayed you. My sister, Aisha, and I grew up sharing everything, dreams, secrets, late-night talks about our futures. She was the one person who could read my silence. And then there was Hamza, my best friend since school. He was like a brother to me, always there when life got messy. I trusted him with my life, and in a way, I trusted him with hers too. When he started visiting more often, I didn't think much of it. They laughed easily, helped each other with little things, and I felt proud that two people I loved got along so well. I never saw danger in that. Love blinds you, even when it's not romantic. One evening, I walked into the living room and saw their heads close together over her phone, whispering, smiling. Harmless, I thought. He's just teasing her. I didn't know that those smiles carried secrets. Days turned to weeks, and I started noticing distance. Aisha avoided eye contact when I mentioned Hamza. He stopped calling me brother, and became strangely formal. I told myself I was overthinking. But the gut never lies. I should have listened when my heart first skipped a beat for the wrong reason. I thought of how many nights Hamza had sat beside me, talking about loyalty, respect, and love. I didn't realize he'd test every word of it on the one person I swore to protect. Trust was supposed to be the bridge between us. I never imagined they'd set it on fire together. The truth came quietly, like a whisper in the dark. I didn't discover it through a dramatic scene, it was just a message notification. Her phone buzzed while she was asleep. I glanced at the screen, half asleep myself, and saw his name, Hamza Hart. I froze. My body went cold before my mind caught up. I opened the thread, hands trembling, heart pounding. I can't stop thinking about last night, he'd written. You looked beautiful when you said his name. My chest tightened as if someone had placed a rock on it. I scrolled more, each message another knife. Stolen kisses, plans to meet, promises whispered behind my back. I didn't confront her immediately. I watched her the next morning pour tea for me, smiling like nothing had changed. I forced myself to act normal. Inside, everything was collapsing. I couldn't even cry. I felt hollow, like my emotions had been stolen. That night, I texted Hamza and asked to meet. He agreed instantly, probably thinking it was another casual hangout. When he arrived, I just handed him my phone, screen open to the messages. He stared, his mouth half open, words failing him. I didn't shout. I didn't curse. I just said, you were my brother. He tried to explain, saying it was a mistake, that emotions got mixed up. I walked away. Sometimes silence screams louder than rage. I went home and told Aisha I knew everything. She broke down, begged me not to hate her. But I couldn't even look at her. That night, the bond that defined my life ended without noise, just quiet devastation. Days turned into slow-moving shadows. The house felt like a stranger's place. I didn't speak to either of them. Hamza sent long apologies, promising it meant nothing, that he didn't want to lose me. I didn't reply. I couldn't heal in the same place that broke me. Instead, I threw myself into work, leaving early, coming back late, sleeping little. My friends noticed the silence in me. I told them I was fine. I wasn't. Pain changes your reflection before it leaves your heart. Then one morning, I decided I wouldn't let them define my story. I started journaling, writing down the moments I wished I could forget. Every word became lighter than the last. I realized revenge didn't mean hurting them, it meant proving I could rebuild without bitterness. I moved to another city, started a new project, and for months, avoided any connection to my past. One day, I got a message from Aisha, I'm sorry. I don't deserve forgiveness, but I hope you find peace. I didn't reply, but I prayed she would too. Hamza eventually moved away. Maybe out of shame, maybe because facing me was impossible. It didn't matter. My peace didn't depend on their punishment anymore. My silence was my closure. I learned that not every betrayal needs an audience, not every heartbreak needs words. Sometimes, survival itself is the sweetest revenge. Months later, I met someone by chance, a colleague who reminded me what genuine kindness looks like. She didn't pry into my past. She didn't ask why my eyes carried tiredness even on good days. She just listened, and in that silence, I began to heal. Healing isn't dramatic. It's in the small things, the first time you laugh without guilt, the first morning you wake up and forget the pain for 10 minutes. I began to see life differently. I didn't want revenge anymore. I wanted peace. One afternoon, as I was driving home, a song came on the radio, one that used to play when Hamza and I worked together. I didn't change the station. I just smiled faintly. That smile wasn't forgiveness, it was freedom. I realized I wasn't defined by what they did, I was defined by how I rose after it. Maybe that's what real strength is, not striking back, but walking away without hatred. A few months later, I got an invitation to Aisha's wedding. She was marrying someone else, someone she said treated her right. I stared at the card for a long time, then quietly tore it in half and threw it away. Some doors, once closed, should never open again. People often ask how betrayal feels. The truth, it's not fire, it's ice. It doesn't burn, it freezes you until you forget what warmth felt like. But eventually, spring returns. I learned that loyalty should never be given blindly. Family isn't about blood, it's about who stands beside you when you're broken. I once thought I lost everything. Now I see I only lost illusions. Hamza was never a brother. Aisha was never honest. What I had mistaken for love was only habit. The hardest part wasn't losing them, it was accepting that they were never truly mine to lose. But pain has a strange way of teaching peace. Today, when I look back, I don't feel hate. Just distance. Just understanding. People betray, time heals, and life goes on. What once felt like the end turned out to be a beginning, a rebirth of self-respect. I still carry scars, but they don't bleed anymore. They just remind me who I've become. I once had a brother. I once had a sister. Now, I have myself.